This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone. An all-day standoff in Richland County, which Valley News Live was the first to tell you about, has finally ended. Police say it started while they were getting a search warrant for 24-year-old Adam Prochno's property. Police believe he was the person who set off a homemade bomb at the Richland County Law Enforcement Center on Tuesday.
But before today's search, police say Prochno lit his garage on fire and started putting threatening posts on Facebook. That's when the Red River SWAT team was called in. Valley News Team's Alex Larson spoke with a neighbor today who has known the suspect since elementary school and says this isn't like him.
I was like, why such an excessive amount of police if there's nothing going on? I was so oblivious to everything.
Destiny Neva was getting asked at work why there were undercover police driving around her house. She did not know about the incident at the law enforcement center on Tuesday.
I hadn't actually even heard about that until work last night.
Thursday morning, her partner told her he saw their neighbor, Adam Prochno, walk out of his house and into his garage in a ski mask.
I thought that that's very unlike him and that it's not something that happens very often.
Neva has known her neighbor since they were in grade school.
He was a very, very caring person in elementary school. He was always a bit odd, but I mean, who isn't? And he was a great person, and he still is. I'm sure everybody has their off days, some more than others.
But then they saw the flames.
In the process of actually putting together the briefings to do this high-risk search warrant with the SWAT team, we ended up finding out that he had actually lit a fire, and that's where this garage had been burnt up.
I was hoping that everybody was going to get out safely and that nothing more was going to get damaged, but other than that, it was just a big mess, and it was scary, and black clouds everywhere. So
Neva, her partner, and their young daughter were asked to evacuate their home by police. She says they spent most of the day walking around outside.
We feared that we just weren't safe with her and that she might get caught up into something, and that's not what we wanted for her. So we took the earliest and safest precautions that we could, and we went to law enforcement, which we knew was right outside our front door. So
We do know that there was weapons in the house. We do know that there was also possibly some other incendiary devices that were in the house. I can't talk in too much detail because that's still under investigation.
Prochno had a previous run-in with police last summer involving an AK-47.
We got a phone into this guy. It took a long time, but they eventually got him to actually come out on his own. That was what our hope was.
I really hope that he gets the help that he needs and that his family is there for him and his friends.
In Fairmont, Alex Larson, Valley News Live.
Well, Prochno posted goodbye messages to his dogs on Facebook, concerning many people who saw those posts. However, we now know all 3 dogs were found safe and are with his family tonight.
Prochno is being held at the Cass County Jail.
All right, switching gears, our storm team has an update on some weather moving into the area this weekend. Here's Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson with details. Hutch.
Justin, thanks so much. Good evening, everyone. Heading through the 10 o'clock hour on this Thursday night, we have some changes. And in fact, they're just coming in. Our newest model runs on our weekend storm. A couple of the things that we're seeing, some of the models are still shifting the heaviest snow a little farther south and east. So it appears our far southern and eastern counties will have the best chance at seeing significant snow at all. But there's also an ice chance and even a thunder chance. Take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast. I'm going to head over the big wall here so you can see a little bit more clearly the track of this low. As we pause this in the afternoon on Saturday, notice the reds. Well, we don't usually see this in the winter. Showers and rumbles of thunder moving up from Iowa. A couple of these storms could be on the side of strong. Pink, an area of icing crossing the I-94 and I-29 corridors from South Dakota into central Minnesota. And then as we go into the afternoon and evening hours, the snow band makes its way into our area. Notice the snow chances down here, Richland County, all the way up through the Hubbard County area and points south and east. And it's out of here fairly quickly. And by the time we get to mid-morning on Sunday, we're just dealing with wind and some bands of heavier precipitation. Still a chance for some areas to get 6+ inches from southeast North Dakota and into Lakes Country, southern Otter Tail and Grant, and icing in and around the Twin Cities. A lot of travel going on this weekend, and it's for that reason that we're going to leave those first alert weather days in effect for the weekend and continue to track this for you. But the impact shifting farther south with each run at this point.
All right. Thanks so much, Hutch.
Happening now, the largest nuclear power plant in Europe is on fire. It's in Ukraine. Earlier this evening, a plant official tweeted the Russian army is firing at it from all sides, calling the attack a threat to world security. This plant, only about 500 miles from Chernobyl, the site of the worst nuclear disaster in history, where the core melted down in 1986. A White House official says they are monitoring the situation. As of last check, though, radiation levels are more or less under control at the site. Today, numerous truckers made their way through Fargo as part of a freedom convoy to protest COVID-19 vaccine mandates.
More than 75 supporters showed up at the PetroServe as they came through. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling was there to talk to those who were part of the rally.
It takes everybody to make change happen. So it's not just one of us, it's all of us.
Truckers, drivers, and many others gathered at the PetroServe on 45th Street South in support of the Freedom Convoy that made its way through Fargo.
It's time for us to get our freedoms back, and so I'm just here to support the truckers that are out there doing this for us.
In talks with supporters and truck drivers, their main message through the convoy is to stand up for their personal freedoms as they oppose COVID-19 vaccine mandates.
I believe that, if you want to get the shot, you should be able to get the shot. But if you don't, you shouldn't have to.
Well, I'm out here because I'm tired of this mask mandate, all this vaccine stuff. They're pushing all this stuff through like it's water, and it's not. It's viruses. It's poison. It's not okay.
This is similar to the protests that took place north of the border in Canada last month. Some in the Fargo-Moorhead area wanted to help the convoy by raising support for gas money to help the truckers with their trip to D.C.
That takes a huge load off of all of us.
In the end, it's about what they believe, and they are willing to take a stand for it.
I love it because I've been saying we the people, we the people. They've been pushing on us for too long now, and it's time for us to push back as we the people.
In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
The $9,000 has been raised for the truckers to pay for their gas as they head across the country to D.C.
New information now in a story we've been following out of Grand Forks. Bond has been set at $300,000 for a man shot by a Grand Forks County deputy on Sunday. 37-year-old Joseph Espinoza faces 11 charges, including 8 felonies. Police say he crashed a stolen car going 90 miles an hour, broke into a home, and assaulted 2 people.
7 community members have been recommended to serve in the Fargo Police Advisory and Oversight Board. Remember, we've talked about some issues with the police department losing staff in recent years. The candidates will be reviewed at Monday's City Commission meeting. The board hopes to create a new dialogue between the community and police department. The 7 names listed on your screen here were selected from a pool of 43 applicants. Once approved, members will serve a 4-year term with a maximum of 3 terms, so up to 12 years. Still ahead tonight, what Minneapolis Police's top officers are trying to do to combat the rise in murders in the city.
Here's what you need to know tonight. We have some snow showers trying to develop from Minot into the Devils Lake Basin as we go into the overnight hours. Some of us are going to have a layer of slippery on area roads. And as we close out our work week, we warm up. I'll have details on this, and we'll have another look at your weekend weather storm next.